Hi guys, me Mikey. Welcome back to Mikey Macho Garage. And today we're going to be fixing the front brakes on my dad's 2015 Toyota Highlander. And if you want to see what this thing does, stay tuned. And just because I have the new Mikey Macho Garage pre-release of the merch and a mechanic suit, doesn't mean that I'm a professional. So if you want to do this, do it at your own risk. But remember, stay safe. So the first step is we're going to be using this 1/2-inch brake arm with a 21mm socket to loosen the lug nuts on the tire. That's all 5 of the lug nuts. So this is the pinch weld tool, and as you already know, you put it on the pinch weld and it helps you lift the car easier. So if you want to see this, then go buy it in the link down below. And now that we have our floor jack on the pinch weld tool, now I'm going to be lifting the car to get the tire off the ground. And now that we have the car off the ground, we can now put the car on a jack stand. Now I'm checking to make sure the car is secure. Now I'm going to take the lug nuts off the tire by using an impact wrench and a 21mm socket. And that's all 5 lug nuts off the tire. So now that we've gotten the tire off, I've turned the car wheel to the right so that we've got access to the caliper. But also while we're here, we're checking things out. And this control arm bushing looks fine. And this strut has definitely seen better days, and it might be leaking because you can see the oil right here. And this axle has definitely seen better days, and we have to change that. So my dad already broke the tension on these 2 caliper bolts right here. So now I'm going to take them off with my electric Hercules ratchet. And now that I've hung the caliper out of the way, now I'm going to be taking off these caliper bolts on the caliper mounting bracket. So now that we have the caliper mounting bracket off, we're going to be replacing this rotor. So now we're going to be using our special tool that I showed you at the beginning of the video to clean these studs, and it also helps us to clean the hub. So now, as you can see, the stud rust remover tool really did a good job. As you can see, it was better than before, and there's absolutely no rust on these studs. It did a great job. I definitely recommend it. And you just use this tool on a power drill. Now we're going to put some of this anti-seize compound on the hub. So now we put some anti-seize compound on the hub and on these threads because it's also a thread compound too. So now we just remove the caliper guide pins and we put some super lube on it. And make sure, mechanics, when you lube the guide pins, don't put lube on the tips of them. And make sure that the guide pins can slide in and out freely. So now we're going to change the hardware on the caliper mounting bracket with this bag of hardware that we got from the brake rotors. So now we put on the new brake rotor and we secured it with a lug nut, and we also sprayed some brake clean on it, which I highly recommend, to get rid of any grease. So now we had just installed the new hardware for the caliper mounting bracket, and we also lubed it up. And the next step is we're going to put it back onto the rotor. So now we're going to be putting on the caliper mounting bracket with the bolts with a 17mm socket on an electric ratchet. That's good. And next, we're going to be torquing the caliper mounting bracket bolts to 76 foot-pounds by using a 1/2-inch torque wrench and a deep 17mm socket. So now we're going to use this tool to retract the caliper pistons. So now that we've retracted the caliper pistons, the next step is we're going to put it back on the rotor, but also remember, use an 8mm wrench on the bleeder valve. So now we're going to screw in the caliper bolts with a ratchet. Okay, then this one. And you can tell when your thing starts to go down, like how it did. By using a 3/8 torque wrench, a 17mm wrench, and a 14mm socket, torque the caliper bolts to 27 foot-pounds. And now that we've had the caliper back on, now we can straighten the wheel and put back on the tire. So now we're going to put the lug nuts back on the tire. Okay, now they're all back on the tire. So now we can remove the jack stand. Now we're gonna lower the car. And don't forget your pinch weld tool because it's magnetic. And don't forget to check your brake fluid level and how much moisture is in it. And for us, we're okay. And don't forget to torque your tires. And for this, we're going to torque it to 90 foot-pounds. Okay, first one. So the two tools that we demonstrated today was the stud rust remover, which I highly recommend for any rusty brakes, and this piston tool, which pushes it back, which I also recommend. And you can buy them in the link below. And that's the end of the Mikey Macho Garage video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something today. And I hope you guys will really like those tools. And if you want to see more, then how about like and subscribe. Bye.